Hey there, Geminis, it's Keaghan. Welcome to your official spooky season reading with me. I do just want to say here right at the top, I sat down to record and pressed record right at 4:44 local time for me. So if 4 or 444 means anything to any of you, I just want to acknowledge that. Also, I'm just going to shuffle a little bit on screen. I did pre-shuffle both of these decks before getting started, but I like to shuffle while I'm talking to you guys a little bit at the beginning, just so I can connect to your energy. I want to let you guys know I'm doing a special on personal readings during the month of October. I've rearranged my schedule to make a little bit more room during the last week of the month, and I have a couple of slots before then as well. If you're interested, the information is up on the screen for you in terms of what that special is. And if you want to secure a spot, you can email me, keaghantarot@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to switch you guys over to another camera here because I want you to be able to see the spread that I'm going to be doing. You can take a look at that while I shuffle so that you can see what I'm going to take a look at and decide if this reading is for you. This is a you and them type of reading, meaning I'm going to be taking a look at the energy between the two of you as well as energy specific to you and the other person in your life. Now, this could be someone that you're in a relationship with currently, someone who you are currently in separation with, someone from the past that you're wanting to see what they're thinking, whether or not they might be pondering coming back into the relationship. If you are single, you can still watch this reading. If you have someone in mind, then you can assign them to the slot of the other person. And if you don't have anyone in particular that you have your eye on, you can just watch this reading still thinking of the other person as being who might be approaching you, who might be coming in next as your next potential romantic partner. Now, you don't need to memorize the spread. I will remind you what each of the cards represents. We're going to kick things off, however, by getting an oracle card. I'm going to take this tarot deck, which is now ready, and place it over on the side. We're going to pull two oracle cards out of this deck. The first one is going to be insight and guidance for you around what you need to do or how you might be able to have some assistance in being able to heal your past. I'll pull a second card and place it over into the spread, and that is going to be the last card that we look at today. And that's going to be about how to secure the future that you want to secure. Okay? So this is feeling good. I do just want to say, since I did sit down to start filming and had that triple number, you might want to pay attention during this reading whenever I hit triple digit numbers, just to see what message is coming through for you. Especially at 1111, you might want to really pay close attention. If this reading goes to past, the 2222 mark, you might want to pay attention. We have your two oracle cards here. I'm going to take this one again, which is about the future, and place it off to the side. And I think we're ready to go here, okay? So I'm going to ask you just to center your energy, set forth the intention that you will get the messages and guidance that you want from this reading. And let's take a look at what's coming through as information for you around healing your past. So this card says, might be a little bit dark. Let me see if I can adjust that a little bit for you. There we go. So this card says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Okay? I think what's going on here for you guys is, and this has been something that's come through on a lot of the readings that I've done already. Whatever is going on internally for us, whatever is going on in our mind, right? Our thoughts, our beliefs, our fears, everything that we have that's running through our minds on a daily basis. Those things actually do shape the way that we see the world and how we experience the world. So if we're in a place where we are focused on fear or where we're focused on pain or disappointment, that shapes the way that we see the world and how we interact with the world. If our mind is focused on optimism, if our mind is focused on hope, if our mind is focused on pursuing our happiness, then that also tends to shape the way that we see the world and how we experience things. So in terms of healing the past, with this card coming out, I would assume that your mind is still very focused on more of the negative aspects of whatever's happened in the past. Okay? We're going to take the next card that we're going to look at in terms of the spread will be about the recent past and the main block that we have going on there, so we'll get more insight into this. But what I would say here is to really challenge yourself to focus in on having faith that the universe is trying to guide you towards something that's for your good. Okay? And really try to get your mind fixated on the certainty that you're going to be able to find happiness. You're going to be able to find stability. You're going to be able to find security. Whatever it is that you want to manifest, focus on that. Don't focus on the things that you don't want in your life. If you don't want to be hurt, don't spend your time focusing on not wanting to get hurt or the fact that you got hurt. If you don't want to be hurt, center your mind on focusing on bringing people into your life who will be caring and compassionate and loving towards you. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this card over into its position and switch you guys back over. That light got very bright there. Might have to fiddle with that a little bit. So again, I did pre-shuffle this deck. I'm going to give it a couple more shuffles and a cut or two. And then I'm going to put your spread out here. And then we'll pull the cards over two at a time onto that other camera so that we can take a closer look at them. Okay? So let's do 2 cuts. And then I will deal the cards straight off the top of the deck. Okay. So let's get the spread laid out here for you guys. See what's going on. Now I do want to let you know, these readings have been, even when they're good, okay? Even when these readings are good, they have been a little bit intense, okay? And so I just want to give that disclaimer here before we flip any of these cards over. I don't know what's going to happen with this reading yet. You will know because I will put something in the description box to let you know exactly what the theme of this reading was. Now, if it seems like this reading might be a little bit intense and you are not yet in a place emotionally or mentally to be able to hear that or to receive those messages, come back to this reading at a later date. I'm not a reader. If you're new and you've not watched any of my readings before, I'm not a reader who sugarcoats things. And if I see something that's a warning, or I see something that is concerning to me, I will state that. So watch this when you really feel like you're ready and able to focus in on it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab these 2 cards, bring them over. I might need to do a little bit of adjusting with the light. No, it looks good. Okay, so this is again the card for the most recent past. This is the card representing the main block going on in this situation. So let's take a look and see what we have here. So coming out in the main past, recent past, we have the Hierophant here. So I'm going to say for some of you, because I just want to acknowledge this aspect of this card, this card does represent things along the realm of marriage, or also, for me, it can represent a relationship that's deepening in some way from one level of commitment to another. Traditionally, it represents marriage, but it's 2020 and not everyone wants to get married, right? So, but it does represent a deeper type of relationship, a longer term commitment relationship. The other thing that I get from this card, though, and the energy that feels more intense for me, is really in the recent past a deepening of your own connection to religion and spirituality. And I do a lot of readings on YouTube, so I don't remember when I did this reading. But I do know that I did a Gemini reading at some point fairly recently that was about really reconnecting to your own spiritual roots, really reconnecting to your faith, leaning in on your faith. And so this could be a continuation of that reading if you're someone who's watched other Gemini readings that I've done. Because I do sense that in the recent past you've been going back to what feels like almost like a tradition that you had moved away from in some way. And really finding security in that. It's interesting, the card that came out in terms of, really leaning on certainty of your faith. To have the Hierophant come out in terms of the recent past, it's possible that you've been doing this work already. You've really been working to change and shift the way that you think and your own internal energy, because you have realized that the more that you are centered, the more that you're connected to your faith and to your own beliefs, whatever those might be, whether they are religious or spiritual in nature, that helps you to really experience the world in a different way that feels better for you. Okay, so I think this card's coming through mostly as acknowledgement to that. Now, for some of you, like I said, it does have a more traditional meaning of, that type of relationship that is more, along the lines of marriage or deeper commitment. But I think overwhelmingly, most of you watching this is probably more related to just that reconnection. I'm feeling a reconnecting to something that at one point in time was a big part of your life, whether that's religion or spirituality. Now let's see what's going on here in terms of a block. Okay, what's the main block happening for you here? Okay, so we have the Three of Cups coming out, and this is very interesting in terms of a block. The Three of Cups as a card on its own is a really great card. It represents, traditionally like friendship and being surrounded by people who love and support us, right? Coming out as a block, it could just be that you're really feeling like you don't have that, or that you're cut off and isolated from that. Now, it's very interesting doing readings during this time that we find ourselves in, right? Because we're all a little bit isolated, we're all a little bit cut off, right? So this could just be what's going on here. For Geminis, you do enjoy being able to be social and to be out there and engaging with people and being able to have that sort of connection in your life. It's interesting, these two cards playing off of each other, because I don't know if there's a situation where you're longing to find other people who might have this same sort of, connection that you're trying to rediscover. You might feel cut off from, your spiritual or your religious tribe, your community that has the same sort of focus that you do, or longing to have the opportunity to, do things with other people, other like-minded people. It could be that is the one thing that you feel is missing from your attempt to deepen the situation. And it's very interesting here because I'm not necessarily picking up on another person, right? And this has happened some in these readings where I don't necessarily pick up on, a situation in which there's a clear energy of another person coming through. But looking at these two cards, we are going to be taking a look at your pain and their pain. So again, before I flip these cards over, you need to decide who this person is, who you're thinking about, okay? Because I'm not necessarily picking up that this is someone new, someone from the past. It's not clear at this point for me. The energy so far is very much been focused on you. So you're going to assign this person, okay? So be clear about who that person is before I get to this card, because from this point forward, we'll be taking a look at you and them, okay? The other thing that I want to say here is that if you're a cross-watcher, if you've joined here and you're not a Gemini Sun, Moon, Venus, or Rising sign, and you're watching this trying to get insight into a Gemini, energies can be reversed, okay? So you might be a cross-watcher, but you might identify more with these cards. So just keep that in mind, okay? So let's take a look here. What's going on for you in terms of your pain? You have the Hangman coming out here. And again, I think this is a continuation of what I was saying. There's some aspect of the work that you've been doing, some aspect of your life that feels like it's just not quite done yet. And you're really working on trying to figure out what that is. You're trying to figure out what you feel is missing. The Hangman, when it's upright, and I might have said reverse, but this is upright. The Hangman, when it's upright, is a good card. It's a good space to find yourself in, because it's a place where we're tuning inward and we're working to try to deepen our understanding of ourselves, or deepen our understanding of what it is that we want. We're trying to gain perspective that we don't have currently, and utilize that time that we're spending being a little bit more introspective to deepen our wisdom and understanding in some way. And again, with the Hierophant coming out as this recent past, I really feel like for a lot of you who are going to choose to listen to this message, you're on a very spiritual journey. You're on a path of discovery about yourself and about what it is that you want. I think that's the main question that I'm getting coming through, is just this blanket statement of, what do I want? What do I want for my life? What do I want for my career? What do I want for my friends? It's this quest to try to really understand yourself and discover who you are and who you're becoming, and to make sure that you're doing everything that you can to set yourself up to have the type of life that you want. You know, from the very first card that came out, even with the Oracle card, it's been this theme of really trying to get everything internally aligned to what it is that you want to create. Okay? Now whoever this other person is, let's see what's going on with them in terms of their pain. Well, this is awesome. We have the Sun card coming out here, and I have to just tell you, you know, as a reader, the Sun card is, you know, it's the most positive card in the deck, and I don't necessarily read the Sun card, even when it's reversed, as being something that's negative. When it's reversed, it's a place where we might be, you know, waiting or maybe a little bit depressed that we haven't manifested the things that we want to manifest yet, but those things are still going to come. They're just delayed. But here, in terms of their pain, you know, we have the Sun card coming out upright. So I don't necessarily feel like this person is in a lot of pain. They're not in a situation where they are really worried about anything. You know, I do pick up a little bit that for this person, in terms of their life, right? In terms of their world and what they're experiencing, I think they're in a really good place. There could be a situation here where they just wish that they had someone to share this with, right? Because if this is coming out in terms of the source of pain, there's nothing painful about this. There's just not. The Sun card is all about good, positive things. Everything working out in your favor, having great success, having, you know, both material success and success in your endeavors, whatever that might be. So for this person, they're good. The only thing that I can pick up here energetically is that maybe they're just wishing that they had someone to share this with. Now, I will say with your energy coming through here as a Hangman, if you do have someone specific in mind, and you're not just watching this about like who might be approaching, if you have someone specific in mind, it could be that you have told them that you're not ready, that you've told them that it's not the right time for you, which would make sense because I feel like your energy is very focused towards yourself. Okay? I'm curious to see what comes out here for the rest of these cards as we look at the blind spot and the hidden fear and the secret wish, just to see if we can get a little bit more clarity for you about who this person might be in case you don't have someone specific in mind. Okay? So I'm going to switch you guys over here and put these cards in place. And then, like I said, we're going to take a look here. Reach for this one. So this is going to be your blind spot, and then we're going to grab this card, which is a blind spot of the other person. I just want to say here, before moving into those, however, that there are 3 major arcana cards coming out here in the center part of the reading. And so I do feel like it's important to acknowledge that where you're at right now, energetically, is it probably feels very intense and very important to you, because you have a lot of major cards coming out, and the energy from the center part is fairly strong to me. Okay? The one thing that I do just want to acknowledge, because I'm picking up on it, if this person has shown up in your life already, okay? And again, I'm not sure who's going to watch this, how many of you might watch it, but I just want to say this to this particular group of people. If this other person, if when I describe this person, you were like, I know exactly who that is. Okay, I'm talking to you now for a moment. If this person has already come in, don't allow the fact that you aren't, like, I'm going to use quotes here, okay, like on their level. Don't allow that to be something that prevents you from letting this person in. And I want to say that because for this person, they aren't looking for a partner or they're not looking to bring someone into their life who has to be like their match, right? Because like I said, they're good. They're good on their own. Their life is good. They have what they want. They've accomplished the things that they want to accomplish. Like, for them, they're looking for someone who can come in and just enrich their lives through the companionship and the connection. Because I feel like for some of you, this hangman, as I'm looking at this reading, right? We talked about this potential for a relationship deepening. There's this pause here because this person, they are in such a good place. And for you, you feel like you still have work to do. But this person doesn't care about that. They don't care that you still have work to do or that you're potentially a little bit behind in terms of where you're at in your life. That isn't something that matters to them because they're not looking for that. They don't need the person to be on that level in order for them to care and to want to explore it more deeply. So I just wanted to acknowledge that as I'm feeling that energy coming through, because I think for some of you, you're keeping this person a little bit out of your energy field because you feel kind of intimidated by where they're at and how they are. But that's okay. It's okay that you're in different places because for them, they are looking at the work that you're doing. They're looking at who you are and seeing the effort that you're putting in to grow and expand and explore yourself. And that is the thing that has them interested. Okay? Now, for those of you who don't know who this person is, that message might still be relevant for you in terms of when this person comes in, right? But I needed to talk to the people who know this person because it feels like an energy, like a present energy. So I'm going to take you guys back over here. I've pulled the card over for the blind spots. I just wanted to address that aspect of the energy that I was picking up on. So blind spot for you. Wheel of Fortune coming out here. Very interesting. I think that this is kind of what I was talking about. Okay. I think that what you might not realize, Gemini, is that this person, this other person, they're coming into your life at a time when they're supposed to come in. If you have been doing a lot of work in trying to cultivate the type of partner that you want, the type of relationship that you want, the type of career that you want, the type of home that you want, if you've been putting a lot of effort into that, especially if you've been doing a lot of energy work, either from a religious or a spiritual point of view, I think this card is coming out to point out to you that you aren't realizing you've called this person, this connection into your life. Now, just because they've shown up earlier than you expected or faster than you expected, or they've shown up at a time where you feel like you might not be ready for it, this person feels like they might be showing up because it's time for them to be there. Now, I do want to point out, the Wheel of Fortune represents things that are about good fortune, cycles closing out that we've been trying to deal with. It's a very good card. There is an aspect of fate and karma here, though. So it could be that this person is just showing up as, a teacher, a mentor, someone who comes into your life and they're there for a period of time and they help you on this journey, and then they might depart, right? It could be a situation where this person comes in and it's a romantic partnership and it turns into something that is more long term. Okay? We'll see what the other cards have to say, right? If we have things like the Lovers or the Two of Cups or the Ten of Cups comes out, that points in a specific direction. But I just want to say to you, the timing on this, even if it feels too soon or if it feels like not the right timing, you aren't realizing that this is something that you need to pay attention to. You have a blind spot to this. So let's see what's going on with their blind spot. Who is this person? Like, seriously, who is this person? Okay, their blind spot, they have the Nine of Cups. This is like the wish come true, dream fulfillment, like everything's great, life is wonderful, happiness, good health, like this. But how is this person blind to this, right? They have, their pain is the Sun card and their blind spot is the Nine of Cups. Who is this? Like, for real, like, who is this person? I think one thing that I get from this, though, in terms of the blind spot, I think this person might be a very humble person. Like, I do pick up that energy a little bit. Like, this person is someone who they don't brag. I think outwardly, as people look at them, and they see like the sun energy, and they see, you know, all of the things that this person has and the way that they are, I think that this person is someone who they don't brag, they're not showy. Like, you wouldn't, if you just met this person, you wouldn't know that they have like what they have. You wouldn't know the life that they have, because what I'm getting from this is like they don't, the blind spot is more of just like they don't define themselves by these things. They don't define themselves by their accomplishments or their success or what they have. It's just an aspect of them, but it's not something that they lead with, and it's not something that they even realize like that people care about. It's very I'm so curious about this person. Like, I just have to tell you, like, I'm so curious. So let's move these cards over. I'm going to grab the other cards and bring them over here. Okay, so this is a hidden fear. Okay, both for you and for the other person. Hidden fear for you, we have the Knight of Wands coming out reversed. I want to go ahead and just see theirs. Ace of Pentacles, upright for them. Okay, so let's talk about what this means. So I'm going to start with you. Okay. Okay. Knight of Wands are coming out reversed here. I just feel like, again, you don't know that you're ready for this. The Knight of Wands, when it's reversed, is someone who is, they're quite impulsive. They, might be a little bit prone to anger or to arguing about things. They have a very fiery, passionate type of energy that isn't quite under control. The other thing, too, is the Knight of Wands, often you might hear readers refer to it as sort of like an inappropriate lover. You know, someone who's focused very much on the lustful, sexual side of a connection. They're not necessarily looking for commitment. Okay? I think the hidden fear here, again, what I was talking about earlier, is like, I'm not ready for this person. I'm not on their level. I'm not, and that might, in terms of like, if you're not ready for commitment, if you're not ready for something serious, if you're just wanting to have fun, then yes, you might not be an exact match for the energy of this other person if they're looking for something that's more long-term, right? But if you're judging yourself, if you're looking at things and you're making comparisons, right? Like, here's what I want to point out, right? What I was talking about with this Nine of Cups, right? This person doesn't define themselves by what they've accomplished and what they have. They don't do that with themselves. I think for this person, what makes them, how they judge themselves is how they treat people, how they show up in the world, what it is that they have to do, how they followed through on that. That's how they judge themselves. Now, if you come in and you look at yourself and you say, well, I don't have as much money, I don't have as much success, I'm not as far along in my career, I'm not as fit as they are, like whatever it is, right? If you're making those types of comparisons, they don't do that for themselves, so they're not doing that for you. If they are expressing interest in you, then it's because of something about you, who you are, the type of person that you are, how you treat people, how you show up in the world, what it is that you want to do in the world, the things that you want to accomplish. Like, they look at you, and the things that you want to accomplish is the thing that makes them interested. The passion that you have about that is what makes them interested in you. It's not that you haven't accomplished it yet. It's the fact that you have the drive and the ambition and the desire to do it. So again, your fear is showing up here in terms of making comparisons and seeing yourself as being less, or seeing yourself as being not quite on their level. Don't do that, because that's not how they live their own life. Now, for them, in terms of hidden fear, this is an interesting card. The Ace of Pentacles, I'm feeling very much this is related traditionally, the interpretation of the card, which would be around some sort of new income or investments or a new job, seeking out a raise or a promotion in some way, new opportunities around work and income. This card can represent an offer coming in for like a family type of situation, but I'm not getting that energetically. This person, I think, and this is interesting insight, I think this person is someone who, what they have and what they've accomplished and what they've built, they have a fear of that being either taken away, or they've accomplished what they've accomplished basically out of fear, which makes no sense, right? It makes absolutely no sense because of these cards, right? But it almost feels like this person might have accomplished what they've accomplished fairly easily. This person might be someone, I would be so interested in knowing what the Jupiter placement is for this person in their natal chart. Because this feels like someone who has, they feel like they've lucked their way into what they have. And that would make sense for what I was saying in terms of like, they don't define themselves by what they have and what they've accomplished, because it feels like they have a fear about it. For a very small portion of you, this person could have a fear that some sort of new job or promotion might cause their life to be disrupted in some way. It might require them to move away or something, but that would just be for a couple of you. I think more so it's the energy of this person feeling like this has been easy. And that's why I feel like they don't define themselves by what they have, and why they also don't care what other people have. I think this person realizes that someone might have worked much harder than they've had to work and have like less to show for it. And because they have that understanding and they have that knowledge, that's why they don't look at things that way. Okay? All right. Let's see where we're going with this. Move these cards over. All right. So here we have your secret wish, their secret wish. These are the last two cards of this reading, and then we will take a look at that final oracle card. Okay? So let's see. What are you wanting here? Page of Wands coming out reversed. So, we had the Knight of Wands reversed for you in terms of your fear. We now have the Page of Wands coming out as your secret wish. This is a continuation of that same sort of energy. For some of you, you could be in a situation where you are, trying to wrap up education or trying to get your first hold in some sort of career advancement in some way. And you're really wishing that you could either just focus on that or have that be something that you've wrapped up prior to dealing with this potential new connection. Some of you might just be confused and hoping to figure out that confusion around what to do in the situation, how to, approach this, what your next move should be with this person. This card again is a card that can represent, this notion of immaturity. And I'm sensing that throughout this reading, this comparison that you're making between yourself and this other person and feeling like you're not on their level. And I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but they don't care. They don't care. What is this person's secret wish? This person's secret wish coming out here, the Ace of Swords. And, this is very interesting because I'm just picking up there's a lot of mental stress with this person. There's a lot that's going on in their head. There's a lot that they are kind of keeping track of, and there's a lot that they are trying to sort through. I really feel like for this person, when they look at their life and they think about the things that they want to have in their life, they just want someone who's there. They want someone who cares about them. They want someone that they can talk to. They want someone that, when they've had a bad day, that there's someone there when they come through the door just to give them a hug. Like, their secret wish is to have someone that can help them not be in their head as much. To have someone who cares about them enough to listen I think that's what they don't have. They don't have a companion, which is what they want. It's the thing that they don't have in a life that pretty much they get what they want. Very interesting, this person's energy. I have to tell you, very, very interesting. If this made sense to you, absolutely go into the comments and let me know who this person is, because, you know, like I said, very, very interesting cards coming out for them. Very, very interesting. So we have a final card here, okay? This is about how to secure the future that you want. Now, based on this reading, I'm going to assume if you are still listening to me at this point, this has all resonated with you and you've stuck around and you've been nodding your head nonstop yes, okay? So I'm going to assume what you want here is to figure out how you can stop comparing yourself to this person and figure out how to just embrace this opportunity that's been presented to you, okay? So what is the advice here? So this card says, I don't know if you can see it, it says, I am the loving energy of the universe. All you have to do, Gemini, in this particular situation, in this particular connection with this person, the only thing that you have to do is love. Be open to love. Be open to being loved. Be open to giving love. There's nothing else that's being sought by this person other than love. That's it. Okay? So this was a rather long reading, but I wanted to take the time to really tap in and get some information on this person. Can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments about this, right? So, Geminis, I love you guys, and I'll see you again soon.